Hi guys, welcome to today's session, and today we are going to discuss about global methane assessment. And in this session we'll first discuss about methane, then we'll discuss about methane budget, and then we'll discuss about the findings of global methane assessment, and then we'll discuss about the need and benefits, and finally we'll discuss about the related Indian initiatives regarding controlling the methane in our country, or controlling the pollution in that sort in our country. So this is how I plan the session. Let's now start. Recently, a report titled Global Methane Assessment, Benefits and Cost of Mitigating Methane Emissions suggested that world needs to dramatically cut methane emissions to avoid the worst of climate change. And the report was released by Climate and Clean Air Coalition and the United Nations Environment Program. And if you see methane is a gas that is found in small quantities in Earth's atmosphere, and it is the simplest hydrocarbon consisting of one carbon atom and four hydrogen atoms. And it is a powerful greenhouse gas. It is flammable and is used as a fuel worldwide. And methane is produced by the breakdown or decay of organic material and can be introduced into atmosphere by either natural process such as the decay of plant material in wetlands, the seepage of gas from underground deposit, or the digestion of food by cattle, or through human activities also it can be introduced into atmosphere, such as oil and gas production, rice farming, or waste management, etc. And if you see the impact of the methane is 84 times more potent than carbon and doesn't last as long as in atmosphere before it breaks down. This makes it a critical target for reducing global warming more quickly while simultaneously working to reduce other greenhouse gases. And it is responsible for creating ground level ozone, which is a dangerous air pollutant. So that is about methane. Now we'll discuss about the methane budget. What is it? Secondly, about the methane budget, and methane is emitted from, as we seen, a range of anthropogenic sources like landfills, agriculture, and fossil fuels, as well as natural systems like wetlands. And it is the second most important greenhouse gas that humans are contributing to. And since pre-industrial times, increase in atmospheric methane have contributed to a quarter of climate warming effect from greenhouse gases. But unlike carbon dioxide, methane has a shorter lifetime in the atmosphere. If big changes are brought in our emissions, methane can be removed relatively quickly. And recently, international team of scientists has published an update on the global methane budget as a part of global carbon project. And they estimated annual global methane emissions at nearly 570 million tons for the 2008 to 2017 decade, which is 5% higher than emissions recorded in the early 2000s. And it is estimated that the wetlands made up of large natural sources of methane and other sources like agriculture waste and fossil fuels contributed to 60%, and wetlands are estimated to make up 20% to 30% of the global methane budget, but emissions vary by latitude. And the fluxes are large in the tropics than in the higher latitudes and temperate zones. So that is about the methane budget. Now we'll discuss the major points regarding the global methane assessment. So if you see the current situation, human caused methane emissions are increasing faster currently than any other time since record keeping began in 1980s. Carbon dioxide levels have dropped during the COVID-19 pandemic. However, methane in the atmosphere reached record levels last year. This is a cause of concern as it was responsible for about 30% of warming since pre-industrial times. And for reducing methane emissions from major sources, the first one is fossil fuel. Oil and gas extraction, processing, and distribution accounted for 23% of methane emissions in the fossil fuel sector, and coal mining accounted for 12% of emissions. And fossil fuel industry has had the greatest potential for low-cost methane cuts. Up to 80% of measures in the oil and gas industry could be implemented at negative or low cost. And about 60% of methane cuts in this sector could make money, as reducing leaks would make more gas available for sale. And then we have the waste, that is landfills and wastewater, made up about 20% of emissions in the waste sector. And the waste sector could cut its methane emissions by improving the disposal of sewage around the world. And then we have the agriculture. In the agriculture sector, livestock emissions from manure and enteric fermentation constituted for roughly 32%, and rice cultivation 8% of emissions. So, three behavioral changes are reducing food waste and loss, improving livestock management, and adopting healthy diets, that is vegetarian or with a lower meat and dairy content, could reduce methane emissions by 65 to 80 million tons per year over the next few decades. So that is the findings. Now we discuss about the need and benefits of this methane emissions. So the human caused methane emissions must be cut by 45% to avoid the worst effect of climate change, and such a cut would prevent a rise in global warming by up to 0.3 degrees Celsius by 2045. It would also prevent 2,60,000 premature deaths and 7,75,000 asthma related hospital visits annually, and as well as 25 million tons of crop losses. And however, cutting methane emissions can rapidly reduce the rate of warming in the near term, as the gas broke down quickly. So that is the need and benefits. And now we'll discuss what are the related Indian initiatives to curb the methane pollution. Firstly, we have seaweed based animal feed. Central Salt and Marine Chemical Research Institute, in collaboration with countries' three heading institutes, developed a seaweed based animal feed additive formulation that aims to reduce methane emissions from cattle and also boost immunity to cattle and poultry. Then we have Indian Greenhouse Gas Program, which is led by WRI India, which is a not-profit organization, and the CIA, that is Confederation of Indian Industry, and the TERI, that is the Energy and Resources Institute, is an industry-led voluntary framework to measure and manage greenhouse gas emissions. And the program builds comprehensive measurement and management strategies to reduce emissions and drive more profitable, competitive, and sustainable businesses and organizations in India. Then we have the National Action Plan on Climate Change, NAPCC, which was launched in 2008. And it is also aimed at creating awareness among representatives of public, different agencies of government, scientists, industry, and communities on threat posed by climate change. Then we have the Paris State 6 norms. That is, we all know that from Paris Stage 4, we shifted to Paris Stage 6 emission norms. So these all are measures for curbing the methane pollution. In overall, in total, the greenhouse gas emissions. So it's a very important main topic, guys. And please know about the statistics, how much among the greenhouse gas, how much is methane contributing to the pollution. So these data you might be aware. And that's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow with another topic. Thank you for watching this lesson.